We are in section 11 and we are about to check out the fourth video, that is the last video of this section. So what exactly we mean by a map? Well, map is again the unordered collection in the form of key value pair, and the key value can be of any object type. But in case of map, the key should always be unique. But the value in the map can be repeated, or you can say it can have the duplicate entry. Now the map is commonly called a hash or a dictionary. And in case of dictionary, you can imagine how we have values in the form of key value pair. Now in case of map, the size is not fixed. That is, the size of the map can be increased or decreased as per the number of elements present within the map. Now what is a hash map? Well, hash map is again the implementation of the map class. But the only difference is that the hash map is based on the hash table. That is, each of the elements present within the map is identified with the help of its hash value. So within our application, here I have cleaned up all my code. So let us start fresh and define our map. Let us define a variable of fruits and then create the map with the help of map constructor. Now the map contains values in the form of key value pair. That is, if you define explicitly what is our map all about, so here we have to use map and pass in two type parameter. The first type parameter will be what kind of key you want to define. Generally in the form of key we define string, and as a value you can have any kind of data type. Right now let us use string. Now you can have key as integer or double or even boolean. Right now let us use key as string, and in case of value as well you can have any kind of data type such as integer, boolean or double. So right now again let us use string as a value. So how to insert the values within a map? So for that let us use our map, use the pair of square bracket, and then since our key can only have the string values, so here let us define our string as apple. And as a value let us define its color as red. Perfect. Now similarly you can insert as many values to the map, such as the fruit of banana as a key and value as yellow, guava as key and green as its value. Now also make a note that all the key that you define here such as apple, banana and guava should never be repeated. It should always be unique. That is, you cannot add one more guava and give it some different color such as blue. So this is not allowed. The key cannot be repeated. But the value on the right can have duplicate entries, such as here you can make guava as yellow as well. So the value can be repeated. It's totally up to your wish, but the key should always be unique. Always remember this. And now how to perform the read operation. So for that we can use a print statement, use our map and then our string key such as apple. If you launch the application, then in the output you will get the value corresponding to this apple such as red. As simple as that. Now how to print out all the values present within our map, such as I want to print out all the keys. So here again we can use the for in loop, variable of key in our map. Now since I want to print out all the keys, so I will use dot keys and then print out the key. Now here you can explicitly define what our key object is about, such as in our case the key is a string. So here instead of var you can use string as well. And now what about the values? So for that let us copy this loop and paste it down below, and instead of key let us use a value, and instead of keys let us use dot values. So this will simply print out all the values, and also modify the print statement. Now before I run my application, let us use a line break so as to get a formatted output. Perfect. Launch the application, and there we go, we are getting all the keys, and down below we are getting all the values. Perfect. And now how to print out all the key and values at the same time, that is in the same loop. So for that we have something called for each loop, like we saw in case of set and also in case of list. So here use fruits dot for each. Now in case of for each, this time we have to use both key and value as a parameter in case of the lambda expression. So once you select it, then we have to pass in two parameters. The first will be the key and the second will be the value. And then use the fat arrow, and now we can print out our result, such as print out something. I will use a statement. So here I have used a print statement by using the string interpolation. The key is this and the value is this. If you run the application right now, then you will get the key apple and the value red. Similarly, the other two outputs as well. Perfect. So this is how we use the lambda expression within our for each loop to print out the key and value at the same time. It's quite simple. And now let us move a step ahead and perform some operation on our map, such as fruits. So right after this, let us check out if our map contains a particular key or not. So for that, we have a method of contains key that checks if this apple is present within our map or not. It simply returns true if the key is present. Then we can also update our map by using a special method of map.update that takes the first parameter of key which you want to update. Now the second parameter is the lambda expression that simply expects the first parameter as the value and then our method body, such as I want to update this red to green. Perfect. So this method is simply going to update the value corresponding to this apple to the new value of green. So now the red will now become green. So this is the comment statement for that. Let us now run our application, and there we go, the value has been updated to green, and here as well the apple is now green in color. Perfect. Now we can also perform the delete operation by using the remove method. It is simply going to delete the key and the value corresponding to this key of apple. If you run the code, then the apple will be deleted. Perfect. And then we have few more methods, such as isEmpty that simply returns a boolean value if the map is empty or not. Then you can find out the length of the map by using the length getter. And finally, if you want to delete everything, then we have the clear method. So right now I will comment this clear method because I do not want to delete everything right now. Now there is one more way to define your map. So on the top, let us explore one more way to do it. Now this time we are going to use the method of literal. So I will now use a map. Now as mentioned, the key can be anything and the value can be any data type. So here I will use the key of string and the value of integer this time. And this time let us define our country dialing code, that is the phone number prefix. And then on the right, let us use a pair of curly braces. And in between these two, we can define our key value pair, such as USA has a country code of 1. Similarly, India has a country code of 91 and Pakistan has 92. Perfect. So this is one other way to create a map using the literals. So this was all about the maps in Dart. So to summarize, in this video, we learned the two ways to create the maps in Dart. Then we performed various operations on our map. And finally, we learned how to print out keys, then values, and also using the for each loop and the lambda expression, we printed out the key and value at the same time. Perfect. So with this, we have reached the end of this section. So let us summarize what we have covered so far. Initially, we checked out what is a list in Dart, which is actually the ordered collection. And we explored the two kinds of list, such as fixed length list and also the growable list. Proceeding, we explored what is a set, which is actually the unordered collection, that is the elements are not present in the ordered way, unlike the list. And we also saw the implementation of hash set. And finally, we explored what is a map, which is again the unordered collection and contains the values in the form of key value pair. And it has the implementation of the hash map. Perfect. So that's all for this section. Now in